Gary Johnson joins me now. Governor, thank you very much for being with us and for being a good sport. I know you've heard it probably way too many times, the Chris Matthews interview. What was going on there?
Well, 5 days after the interview, Andrea, I still can't think of a world leader that I respect. I mean, having never been involved in politics before, I will tell you that I held a lot of people in this country on pedestals thinking that they were role models. I got to meet them up front and personal and found out that they were empty suits, that they weren't about issues, they weren't about doing what was best, they were about getting reelected. So, you know, when it comes to talking about a foreign leader that you respect, that you admire, I have a hard time with that one. That's politics. That's just who I am. So now I'm going to have to pick out a world leader, and there's going to be something that's wrong with them, and now I'm going to have to defend them. Well, maybe I think too much.
Well, by the same token, you're running to be commander-in-chief. Foreign policy and unexpected events are a big part of the portfolio.
Yeah, and you know what? And the fact that somebody can dot the I's and cross the T's on a foreign leader or a geographic location then allows them to put our military in harm's way. You were talking about PTSD earlier. We put our military in this horrible situation where we go in and support regime change. They get involved in civil wars where hundreds of thousands of innocent people are in a crossfire. We're literally shooting at ourselves because we support both sides of conflict, Syria as an example, and we wonder why our men and service women suffer from PSD in the first place. It's because we elect people who can dot the I's and cross the T's on these names and geographic locations, as opposed to the underlying philosophy, which is let's stop getting involved in these regime changes.
Is there any level of engagement that would be justified? What would justify your taking action? What if Aleppo were falling and genocide were being, even worse genocide were taking place there? Would you intervene if you were President of the United States?
If we are attacked, we're going to attack back. I think Afghanistan is a great example. I supported Afghanistan. We were attacked, we attacked back. Al-Qaeda, but in 2001, we went after Al-Qaeda. After 7 months, we defeated Al-Qaeda. We didn't get Osama bin Laden. We could have left our options open for getting Osama bin Laden, but after having been in Afghanistan for 7 months, we should have gotten out of Afghanistan, and we should get out of Afghanistan tomorrow. When we involve ourselves in regime change, Syria, Libya, Iraq, there are unintended consequences. We always go in because there are atrocities being committed, genocide being committed. These are horrible situations, but I can't think of one example where we get involved where we make that horrible situation any better. In most cases, we make things worse, and I pose Syria right now as an example of that. We are contributing, we have contributed to making that situation worse.
It just strikes me that you would need at least a working knowledge of the globe, of the geography, of the leaders in order to make
that you should have a working knowledge.
Not to intervene. Go ahead.
You should have a working knowledge of what is going on. And what is going on are politicians that beat their chests, that claim to know about what we should be doing. And because you put them forward as those that are not, as being knowledgeable, that we then put our faith and trust in politicians that put our men and women, service men and women, in harm's way. They're getting killed, they're getting maimed, they're getting injured, they're getting psychologically damaged for the rest of their lives, not to mention the hundreds of thousands of innocent people in these countries that are getting killed, and we're putting our military in a role that they don't want to be in.
Well, I know from experience, from interviewing a lot of young people, you have strong appeal on college campuses like this one and across this country. But what if it were to come to a point, and we're looking at the polling now, you're polling around 6 or 7 in some of the key battleground states. Some of these states, like Ohio and North Carolina, are within the margin of error. What if it reaches the point where you and your candidacy, you and Bill Weld, determine who is going to be president of the United States? Are you comfortable if you... just the third-party question. Are you comfortable If you
Andrea,
end up
Andrea,
electing,
how about-
if you end up
how about a
electing
poll?
Donald Trump,
How about a poll head-to-head with me and Donald Trump? How about a poll head-to-head with me and Hillary Clinton? I'll bet that would really be revealing. How about a poll with me on the top line? Who will you vote for, Johnson, Trump, or Clinton? I think that would be really revealing. The fact that I'm leading among independents, the fact that I'm leading among young people, and I've come from nowhere to lead among young people. How about the fact that I'm leading among active military personnel? Andrea, I am really proud of the fact that I'm giving people their first option. I'm really proud of the fact that I'm giving people somebody to vote for as opposed to the lesser of two evils. Look, how about voting for somebody who's going to tell the truth? How about somebody who's not a hypocrite, says one thing and does another? That would be me.
Gary Johnson, a strong voice for the Libertarian Party. You've got a lot of support right here in Farmville. Thank you, Governor. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Andrea.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.